everybody, welcome to Ron Spaceman, and I hope you enjoy my daddy show.
There is reason to be optimistic as a silver investor, as a gold investor, as a precious metals mining stock investor. Or is there reason to be optimistic? It's been a rough go the last few weeks. You know, silver price, gold price, precious metal mining stock prices have been absolutely pummeled. But do we have a light at the end of the tunnel? Are there reasons for us to remain optimistic, to stick to our thesis that silver and gold and the mining stocks will realize their true value as we head into the coming months, quarters, and years? By the end of this video, you're going to feel better. That's my promise to you. Because what you've been through over the last 2 weeks, heck, from that starting point, it's hard not to feel better. We've been pummeled, but I want you to remember two key things about what happened over the last few weeks, especially with silver. We saw a massive, fast drawdown in the price of silver, for instance, over 10% at one point in just 24 trading hours. Guys, this is very unusual, bizarre behavior, and we've talked before. What do you think it means that when the system that we're operating within becomes so convoluted, so delicate, so fragile, things happen much, much quicker? So much like a law of nature, if you slam a basketball down, much like they slammed the price of silver down over the last few days, it typically can bounce right back. So don't be surprised if we see a violent upswing in the price of silver and gold for that matter as well. The other thing to remember about silver and gold is they are two of the oldest markets in the world. And what do you think comes with age? Wisdom. Silver and gold are anticipatory markets. They look out into the future, and they do a better job of that than any other financial product. Soon, when they look into the coming 6 months and 1 year, they're going to see interest rates peaking. They're going to see a very contentious presidential election on the horizon. And the price, the real value of silver and gold, I believe we're going to be in for some very, very happy times. But let's talk about a whole list of other reasons. A quick review. It's important we take stock of what we have as precious metals investors in terms of positive underlying forces that will support the price of the metals. I'm borrowing some of this from Tavi Costa from Crescott Capital. He's like one of the most respected people out there. Number one, we do have falling silver and gold production. Hey, the laws of supply and demand dictate that as supply goes down and down, eventually that affects the price in a very positive way. And we also know central banks around the world accumulating gold. What is that telling us? What is that indicating in terms of the most sophisticated financial institutions in the world? What are they doing? But at the same time, we have government debt at historic highs. What does that mean to you and me? Right? We know the simple laws of mathematics dictate that we are in an untenable situation in the United States and much of the world when it comes to managing what have become massive debt piles. And there's a kicker. We've accumulated these massive debt piles, but right now, just in the last 18 months, we've seen interest rates go up by like 9 times. I mean, realize this, guys. Just 2 years ago, the 10-year bond had a rate of like 0.5%. Right now, it's at 4.7%. That's more than a 9 times increase in terms of the size of the interest rate. And that interest rate makes the interest expense on that massive pile of debt unsustainable, untenable, however you want to look at it. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing 2 of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves,
but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has zero debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects.
We've got deglobalization going on throughout the world. Countries are becoming more nationalistic, wanting to reclaim. That's a big trend going on as well with gold. What does it mean when we've got countries that are wanting to take back reclamation of their gold? They don't want their gold being held in London. They don't want their gold being held in New York. They are living by the motto that many of you live by. If they don't hold it, they don't own it. We've got the onset of massive inflation throughout the world. That is only in the long term going to be supportive for the silver price and gold price. The old traditional 60-40 asset allocation. What do you think that means? That means put 60% of your money in stocks and 40% of your money in bonds. Many big money managers are beginning to re-examine that theory, that practice, and looking for alternative asset classes. We know the younger generations, if you heard, the millennials are moving more of their money to what are traditionally considered alternative asset classes. This will only continue to be a supportive factor for the gold price and the silver price. Lack of gold and silver discoveries. These big mining companies that supply all the gold and silver to the market, not only are they facing a production profile that's declining, but their pipeline is also shrinking because they've been acting extremely conservative with their money. So another big fact, not just that we're going to have less gold being produced, but we're going to have less gold that's going to be even available, silver available to be produced. Trifecta. This is great. Sit down for this one. The trifecta of macro imbalances. Tavi says we have the debt problems of the 40s. Right after World War II, this country had massive debt. We're matching that right now. We got the inflation issues of the 70s. Right? In the 70s, we had massive inflation, but we didn't have all that massive debt. And we have the asset value imbalances of the 1920s, right before the Great Depression, and the late 1990s when we had the tech bubble. Guys, it is crazy out there, and I know it's been especially crazy in the silver and gold market. I understand it's not been easy, but we need to take steps back from time to time, look at the big picture of what's going on, and realize the thesis, the underlying story for silver and gold remain intact. If you want to get yourself some precious metals, maybe a little silver, gold, or platinum, don't forget, we need to thank our sponsor, Pimbex. They're an online bullion dealer. I've used them several times now myself to purchase silver. They always have the best prices, but even better, they're trustworthy and they have outstanding customer service. Throw them into the mix when you're shopping for an online bullion dealer. Do your own research. Do what I did, and what you'll find is that Pimbex checks all the boxes. I think Pimbex is best, and you will too. Thank you for joining me in the basement, and I'll see you soon.